Okay. Today, I want to talk about one of my weaknesses. I mean, it's a stereotypical weakness as it has been known, especially for black people, black men. And that is swimming. Swimming. I can't swim. I can't swim. I'm bringing this topic up today because my school has this annual event every year where a couple of teachers get voted and they're going to be thrown into the pool. Unfortunately or fortunately for me, I was voted to be thrown in the pool again today. But luckily you have a chance to decline being thrown into the pool because I think there's like a top 5 people get chosen, and then people who agree, of course, they get thrown into the pool, but people who disagree, they don't. I didn't want to get thrown into the pool this year. I mean, last year was fun, but two years in a row, come on. No matter how much I get voted for, I don't want to do it. I think it's one of those things that they do to encourage kids. I think it's an IELTS. It's called IELTS something. But anyway, this event triggered the idea of me going back and analyzing why I can't swim. Of course, I blame my mom for not being able to swim, but at the same time, I'm an adult. I should know how to swim now. I should practice. But I think one comedian had said once, why would I put myself in a situation where I need to swim? So technically, I don't need to. I don't need to practice swimming because I'll never be in a situation where I need to swim. But you never know. You never know. Anyway, the reason I blame my mom for not being able to swim is because when I was young, my mom did not want me to go into the dam. Like every other kid would be going to the dam to learn how to swim, except when we came back home with those red eyes, it wasn't so much fun when my mom would see them. But let me tell the story from the beginning, because as much as she used to do that, I want to say she had a reason. I want to say she had a good reason, but at the same time, god damn it, I could be one of the best swimmers in the world, but I'm not. Thanks, mom. Anyway, of course, growing up in the 90s or the early 2000s, I'm a 90s child. But during those times, there was an era that was just coming up. A terrible era. If you're thinking of the crack epidemic in the States, there was a small era that happened in the hood. An era of Glue and Benzine, which is the era that I was unfortunately growing up in. A lot of people were trying out benzene and glue. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad for you. I mean, you need to be healthy. You need to be looking good at a very old age, and doing drugs will not help you do that. Anyway, so during this time, the era of benzene and glue was also an era where people were going to the dam to try and learn how to swim. It's a fun thing to do as kids. My little brother was there, my cousins, my friends, some of my best friends growing up were there. And we would all go together to Willefontein to swim in these dams. Which, I mean, very dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. It was very dangerous. Those dams were very deep. Actually, they were very deep. It did help out a lot of people learn how to swim, but they were very deep. A couple of people could have died. I don't know. I think as a child, especially back in the early 90s or the early 2000s, our parents just didn't care. We just did anything we wanted to do, and no matter how dangerous it was, it seemed like somehow luck was on our side and we didn't die. Because I think I've brought it up before that I should have died long time ago. considering the things that I used to do. Anyway, so one time we went there. I think this was my first time, and in this backpack, the guys who were older had a bunch of glue and bunch of benzene in there, and apparently, because they've been doing this swimming and taking this drug, they were like, yeah, we should do it. It's nice. Apparently, it makes you feel good. I'm like, oh, okay. So we go there, and people are swimming. Good time. I'm there too, learning how to make my body float, which is something I can't do right now as an adult. Thanks again, Mom. And we were there swimming, doing the thing, and the older boys started pulling out their substances. I knew how my mom was gonna fuck me up if I even had a whiff of this thing. So the moment that was happening, I pulled back and I was sitting by a rock watching everything happen. And then these guys would do their thing. I don't know if I should even show people on video what they were doing. But of course, you put it there, and they got high. And they started playing some game called Crocodile, and it was crazy. It was crazy, but I was only watching it from my perspective on how crazy it was and how dangerous it was, especially because they were in a dam that was really deep, and now they are basically hallucinating on these drugs. But not gonna lie, at that time it looked freaking amazing. They were like having the best time of their life. Of course, because at some point during the swimming, I think some boobs were out, and people were doing literally some exploring. Yeah, there was some exploration that happening down there. It's kids. We were trying to figure out how our bodies work, because our bodies were opposite, Anyway, we go back home. My eyes are red. We've been swimming for I don't know how many hours. That's another thing. As kids, you swim forever, forgot that you haven't eaten, and it's a weekend. And of course, because you haven't eaten, your mom is gonna know that you haven't been home. I'm like, fuck. And I look at the time and I see that it's quite late. And me, I already know my mom is not gonna be happy. She's gonna fuck me up. Plus, I'm there with my little brother, so she's not gonna only mess me up for what I did, but she's gonna mess me up for what I let my little brother do. I got home, and then she saw the red eyes. Now my mom is very tricky. I think probably black parents can't be tricky like that. But she pretended not to see anything. Just let bygones be bygones. Later on in the day, she asked us to bath. And she pours us the water and the shini, and then we take our things, we go to our to the bedroom, and then she's like, she's gonna come to help us out. We were still young, so our mom would bath us. So we get there, bathing, having fun, laughing, and then we were undressed. This is the best time to this is the best time for parents to be whipping us. Worst time for us, fully naked, having the best time of our lives, and in walks my mom. And she's like, yeah, nidla drugs nin, so you take drugs now. Oh, drugs? No, hey, no, She didn't even wait for us to finish explaining. Beating us with the wet towels that we were busy batting with. Nidla ama-drugs nini? I want ama-drugs. Oh, niyabhukuda. Manilimala la. Was one of our beatings. You would think we would learn our lesson. Actually, I feel like I was learning my lesson, because the more the towel was lashing on my back, I started regretting the idea of like, what was I doing? Why was I there? I started questioning a lot of things like, shit, I shouldn't have been there. But it's almost like when a week passes, the brain forgets, especially the brain of a child. Because next week, we were back there in the dam. I mean, this time I was more aware of how many hours I should be there and how many hours I shouldn't be, because, you know. But for some reason, I was not aware that my eyes would turn red. I think it's a natural thing when you're in water, especially dirty water. Your eyes, you know, they get messed up. But as I was coming home, or coming back home, my friend is like, yo bruh, your eyes, yo, they're so red. I'm like, fuck, really? And I'm trying to touch my eyes to feel, he's like, no man, the eyes are fucked up. I'm like, shit, my mom is gonna mess me up. Apparently there's a trick. I don't know why Zulus come up with these things. Kids, actually. But anyway, there's it. I'm laughing because, you know, I'm gonna share why I'm laughing. Anyway, the trick is you're supposed to take a small rock and put it under your tongue. And you take another piece of rock and you go and you tie it on some grass, you know. You tie it on the grass. So the more you have, or actually the longer you have your rock under your tongue when trouble happens, apparently it's supposed to lock trouble in one place and you're not gonna get into any trouble in your life, basically. Basically, it's like, I don't know, it's like something to protect you. I have no idea what it was, but at the time, in that moment, I was believing the shit out of this thing. I believed it was going to work. So there we were, me, my little brother, my friend, we're putting small rocks under our tongue, and then we are going to the grass, and then we are locking in the stone. Apparently if the stone falls, you're gonna get fucked up. So you have to make sure that your stone is tight. Go home. And my gosh, the stone was working perfectly. Mwah! Beautiful. There, my mom doesn't even pay attention to us. We are having the best time of our lives. We finish partying. Nothing. My mom does not do anything except I hate my mom. I mean, as a kid, I hated my mom. After we finished partying, nice, and you know, everything is lovely. I don't know when she walked in. I don't know when or how. But you know when you have gotten to that feeling when sleep, the Sandman has put the sand into your eyes and you are sleeping so well and you are feeling the warmth of that beautiful nap. Right at that time, I have no idea how she timed it. Right at that time was when we felt the lash hitting the bare skin. Wow. It's like, first you don't register. Like, what the fuck is happening? And the moment I was realizing, shit, there she is. She's got her whip. And there she is. Githe. Anizwa thiza. Anizwa. Githe ngokubhuku. Ba, 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 ba. Almost like she's singing music with our skin. Ba, ba, ba. And that was the last time I went swimming. I never wanted to go swimming again because I associated swimming with my mom's lashes, and I did not want to feel that. I mean, my little brother, on the other hand, continued to go there, and he was having the best time of his life. He was young. He had such a good time. My brother can still swim today. I, on the other hand, have no idea how to swim. I try to float. My mentor always tells me that swimming is probably the best thing I should do as a dancer. It's an amazing feeling to be able to do. And I had promised him that I actually will learn how to swim. I think that was that was 5 years ago. I still today have not practiced. I try to go in when I get a chance, when there's a pool around, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just over it. But there's always a time to learn how to swim. Just like how there was a time to be able to do a backflip. I think I did a backflip when I was age 25 or 26. So there's always a time where a person can learn new things. I mean, speaking, this is like an extra story. I'm gonna share how actually at one time we learned how to catch my mom's trick of whipping us unprepared, because she attempted this trick again at some point in my life. I don't know, I can't remember. Me and my little brother, we had done something, but because now we knew her trick of pretending that she's not she's not gonna whip us. We had finished basically eating, and then she told us to go take a bath. But we knew, I think instinctively, me and my little brother knew that, something was going to happen. So what we did is, when we were busy showering or taking our clothes off, we put our clothes under the bed. I'm going to tell you shortly why. So when my mom walked in with the whip in the house or in the room that we were taking a shower in, we knew. The moment we heard the door go, we jumped, hiding under the bed. The moment the door was fully open, she's like, yeah. We were gone. We were already under the bed. Now the bed was really heavy. I don't know. I had such good beds back in the day. It was really heavy that she couldn't pull it up. And when she tried to pull it up, we would drag it back down. So actually it was more heavy. And she was trying to whip us. And she's like, Ngizonlind, I'll wait for you guys here. You will come out. I will wait for you here. And then she sat on the bed waiting for us. But, unfortunately for her, we had our clothes under the bed. So we put our clothes on and we just lie there, me and my little brother. And we lied there for so long, we fell asleep. And my mom, on top of the bed, also fell asleep. I think we all woke up like late, or actually we woke up so late. I heard my mom leaving the room, and that is when we actually woke up, and I pulled this little nigga out and I put him on the bed, and then we actually slept, and it was all good in the morning. The bad energy was gone. I think the whole situation was like a funny situation. It had to just be gone. Anyway, yeah. That is the reason I don't know how to swim, thanks to my mom, who, conditioned me to think of swimming and think of being whipped. So I ran away from that. All right. Thank you again for listening, for giving me your ears. And hopefully you can share your stories so I can give you my ears.